Hi there, this is Hadi Mansouri. I'd like to explain for you briefly about the BC PNP entrepreneur category. This is an investment or entrepreneurial category for immigrating to Canada under the British Columbia Provincial Nominee Program guidelines. How this program works is that there is a 200 point maximum potential system, meaning that you can achieve up to 200 points in this criteria, and then once you have all of your points calculated, you can enter a pool of candidates. If you're in the pool of candidates, every now and then the provincial government looks into the pool and invites a bunch of people, usually around 20 people from the pool. Obviously, people who are invited have the highest ranking points in the system. And every time that the government issues invitations to apply from the pool, it releases the minimum number of points that each candidate, like the least number that the lowest candidate had, and were invited. For instance, let's imagine that you want to achieve 120 points because the last draw hypothetically was 120 points. Now let's take a look at the pointing system. These 200 points are allocated on two different pillars. The first pillar is called self-declared points. Self-declared points consists of your age, your language abilities, your ties to BC, your level of education, your years of experience, and oftentimes your level of experience, your years of experience as an entrepreneur or as a business owner back home or as a senior manager. All these numbers will be calculated and changed based on the points that you declare. Some of them have to do with your intended business in BC, i.e. your location. Each location has a different point for itself. If you're targeting a high population location like Vancouver or Victoria, for instance, you will obviously receive less points because you are contributing less to growing the business population or business diversity in the province. Also, you are more likely to face more extreme competition and other reasons. So if you're targeting a less populated area in the province, you will receive more points, and so on and so forth. The number of people that you want to invite to work for you from the Canadian citizens among the permanent residents here. Or how much are you willing to invest in your new idea or new business, startup business, or purchasing a new business and expanding it. Anyhow, under the 120 point pillar, let's assume you will receive 75 points. So now in order to reach to the 120, which is your target, according to the recent competition, you need 45 more points. Now let's look at the second pillar, which is your business concept points. These are not self-declared. These are calculated by an officer, unlike the first pillar, which is calculated by a machine, by the computer. As you declare, the machine allocates points to you. Under the business concept category, there is a maximum of 80 points. And now you need 45 points. Now you have to take a look at all the different sections. Viability of your business model, how you looked at your competition, how you analyzed and researched the market. Is your product or your service innovative? Is your product or service, does it fall under any of the key sectors that the province has recognized? Does it contribute? Whether it does, or if yes, to what extent your new business will contribute to the province's prosperity and growth and innovativeness and sustainability, or looking at adding some value to the type of the businesses that are already being performed in business. How many people are you willing to hire among the population in this province, and how reasonable is the number of people and the positions that you're intending to hire in consideration of the type of business and the scale of business that you're entering into? How is the proportion of your investment scale-wise correspond with the trend in the province? For example, if you're looking to open a pet shop, the province, the officer, will look at the trends and will look at the statistics and see how many pet shops are there in this province. In the targeted location of your desired business establishment, how many pet shops are there? What is your competition looking like? what is the average number of employees that each pet shop has? What is the average size of the pet store in this province, and more. So the officer, one of the sections that you will receive points on is how does your type of business, your scale of investment, your number of employees, the positions of those employees, and etc. correspond to the reality of the market of this province. Once you have all of these points together, you will enter the pool. The self-declared points will be allocated right away by the computer. The 80 point pillar of the business concept will take about 6 weeks to be determined by an officer. Sometimes if there is an error, you can ask for a review. But anyhow, these points will be added to your own points, and you will receive an email saying that you officially entered the pool of candidates with, say, 121 points. You will then wait until such time that you're invited. You receive an ITA, an invitation to apply. Once you have your invitation to apply, you have to put together 3 main categories of documents. The main category is your net worth and income verification report. What BC wants from you is to go to one of the approved accounting firms, which are only 3 at the moment, and have them evaluate and assess and write a report about how much net worth and equity you have in your life and how you accumulated them. This means from your business, you might have to produce invoices, bank statements, transaction reports, audit reports, accounting, financial balance sheets, financial statements, and more. And also you have to come up with explanations with regards to major money transactions in your personal or in your business account. For example, if there was a 500,000 deposit into your bank account 2 years ago, you have to explain if you sold the property. So now please produce and put forth a copy of those transaction reports, or your title deed exchange, or your lawyer's office, anything that can prove. And then you have to fill out forms for these third-party verification report producers. So this is one of the main categories that you have to satisfy. And you have four months to prepare this. The second category is to come up with identity, educational, work experience, everything, documents from your side. And if they're not in English or French, you have to officially translate them. The third, and in my opinion, the most important part of these document packages that you have to prepare during these 4 months period is your business plan. Because the business concept that we've put forth at the time of your registration was just a concept. It's around 5 to 10 pages. It's just an overview of what you're going to do with the maximum intent of achieving more points and making it more cohesive and more comprehensible for the officer to understand what exactly you want to do. However, now you have to prepare your business plan, which can be as long as 40 pages, 50 pages at times. This dives more in depth about each section of your business concept and tries to prove the viability and potential of success and growth of your business. So once you have all of these 3, you will submit them, and you will officially then make an application to the province. Once the province receives those, in a matter of, regardless of COVID, I mean, COVID has already had some delays to the processings. They haven't stopped, but there have been delays. But excluding the COVID delays, it usually used to take 3 months. Now I'm assuming it can take more for an officer to be assigned to your case and put you in queue for interview. What the officers do at this time is that if they have concerns, if they have questions about your application, about your business plan, about anything, they will send an email outlining their concerns and asking us or you to address each of those concerns about the business plan. You cannot make significant or material changes at this time. Essentially all you can do is elaboration and trying to clarify those gray areas for the officer. Also, as for the documentation, if the officer requires more documentation, they might ask us for more documentation. Sometimes this stage doesn't happen because they're fully satisfied with the package. At the end, the officer will send us an invitation so that we attend an in-person interview in Vancouver, in downtown Vancouver. I will go with you, but I'm not allowed to participate in the interview. So I have to stay quiet unless I see an infringement of your rights or some unfairness in the procedures or something really fishy, then I can intervene, but otherwise I have to be quiet. So you have to answer questions to the officer about your background, about your work, and about your intended business. Meaning you have to have read and understood your business plan and are able to explain each section. You don't have to have memorized it, but you can take your time, refer to your pages, open your tabs, open your business plan, and try to present it. In a sense, you're pitching your idea to the officer. If you don't speak English well enough, highly recommended to hire an interpreter. A registered court interpreter is available in BC. We usually take them with our clients, even the clients that speak fluent English, just in case we take the interpreter, so that you can take your time during this 3 to 3.5 hour interview. Once you're approved, you will get within usually 2 weeks you receive your approval letter. You have to sign a commitment letter, committing to establish the business according to the same criteria that you declared in your business plan. And then you will have the right to apply for a work permit. Once you have your work permit, it's a 2-year work permit for yourself and for your spouse, if any, and your children can go to school here, to public schools free of charge. Your wife or your husband can work here. Yourself, you can re-enter and stay in BC for as many times as you want. But in any given year, you have to live in BC for more than 9 months accumulative. And also within the first 18 to 20 months, you have to issue a report to the province, to the PNP program, saying that, hey, I established my business. It doesn't have to have resulted in generating net profit necessarily, but you have to have established it already. So once the province receives your report within 18 to 20 months, not sooner, not later, then you will potentially receive a positive feedback from the province and receive your certificate of nomination. Once you have your certificate of nomination, you can apply paper-based to the federal government for your permanent residency, which can take, according to the current processing times, anywhere between 18 to 20 months. But your work permit and your right to stay in Canada will be renewed, hopefully subject to all the assessment criteria. And there you go. You have come to BC, established a well-intended and well-thought and well-prepared business plan, and hopefully it will result in a profit-making venture for you. Thank you for watching. Any questions, send us an email, please. Don't really write comments. It's not easy to reply to comments, especially when there are more broad questions, more open-ended questions. Please send us an email if you have any questions. I will be glad to have a chat with you. Have a great day and stay safe out there.